Welcome to episode 63 of the Brew Crew Scoop. The Brewers are fresh off of an 11-game win streak. Just finally lost. No free burgers from George Webb's, but I'll take an 11-game win streak anytime. The record as it sits right now is 60 and 41, a half game ahead of the Cubs who just lost, but the Brewers are up 6-2 right now through 5 innings. So hoping that they get back to 20 games over 500 at the completion of this one and regain control of the NL Central by themselves. And let's look at the league because the other day they went to sleep with sole control of the best record in MLB, which is the case right now. It would be if they won. I don't know if the yeah, they win today. They're guaranteed to go to sleep with the best record in baseball again. So when this comes out, so let's hope they hang on. Fewest losses in baseball, tied with the most wins in baseball with the Chicago Cubs. What an exciting week and a half. It wasn't that long ago on this podcast we were talking about, is this the first time the Brewers are going to be bad, like truly bad in recent history? And we were telling people, don't panic. And then there was a week where I was like, okay, maybe I should panic. And just then it seemed like they turned it around. It's been a good 2 months.
Yeah, no, it's been a fun summer. I'm from a guy who's basically box score watching most of the time. It's kind of interesting because they just said that they haven't hit a home run since Saturday, and they're not really a slugging baseball team. So it kind of makes it really interesting to box score watch and see how they scored these runs. You got to go back to scoring plays and be like, okay, if nobody hit a home run or a double, like how many singles or how many stolen bases did it take? So it's been a fun year so far for sure. They're quite an interesting ball club, just the way I was looking at it and doing some research today. So, but I'll let Cole get his stuff in before I get into that.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people like talk about Murph ball or whatever. We're just a scrappy team. I don't know. Obviously, last year we talked a lot about the 1982 Brewers team with the Just a Bit Outside movie, and not to say this is the same exact vibe, but I think this team kind of, I don't know, represents the city well, or we have our own identity, and I think people are proud to be fans of that team. And I know Scoop, you posted the other day about like, do we even need a upgrade at third, which is funny because we're talking about a guy that's leading the league in homers basically in Gino Suarez, and a good amount of people in the comments are like, no, he doesn't fit our vibe, and it's just funny to think about like. Um, I don't know. Most fan bases, I think, no matter what, would say yeah. And I'm not saying it's the right or wrong decision, but it's just I don't know. The team fits the city.
I don't
Sorry,
agree with those
Triangle Trouble.
fans.
Oh no, he didn't even get there. It was a single.
I love this team too, but we're like one injury away from like Monasterio playing getting regular ABs in October. So I wouldn't mind some depth. If you're not going to go out and get a star, then go out and get at least a bench player that can back these guys up. So link to Michael Garcia today. I don't know if that's any substance to it or if it's just speculation, but that would be good. But like I think Cole, you said, or maybe I just saw on Twitter, he probably would cost more than Suarez because it's 2 months of Suarez and it's 4 years or 5 years of Garcia or
And
whatever.
Garcia can play short and third with a plus glove, and Suarez is like one of the worst third basemen in the league. Not to not to state what I think on him, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I like I keep saying, I think it's the year where you kind of got to take one of those big splashes on a rental. Maybe doesn't have to be CC Sabathia expectations. It doesn't have to be Suarez, but something. I don't know, something.
I just
Uh,
don't think that there's anything really out there that would be a splash like that, even if we wanted to. Like Suarez isn't some household name. He's just a
Yeah, you
guy
say
who's
that, but he has the most RBIs and home runs. Like I agree, but
I don't
it's
know
going to
you.
cost that for a rental.
I don't think that I just don't trust it full.
I agree. That's why I
Like
don't
I don't
want to pay
trust it.
for
That's
what
why
it's
I
going to
think it's
cost.
like it's not a slam dunk. There's not that big fish out there that you can be like, oh, this guy's gonna come in and contribute.
I don't know,
Like
man.
I just it would be sweet. I mean, I if we got him, obviously he would take some of the Yelich DH away, and then they're putting bad fielder Yelich in the outfield. So then you're also hurting your defense. And what happens if he does turn out and stink? It's not like you're not going to play him all the time.
I
So
just think that uh, you're talking about a guy who's probably going to finish top three in the National League
Yeah, but
MVP.
it doesn't.
Like,
No, he's not. You don't know that.
you don't think so?
No, I
Uh,
think that's assuming that he continues to do something he's never done in the other like 10. He's hit 30 jacks, but he's not hurt 50, whatever. and he's not a good. I think you'd be buying a couple months that were great, and you'd have to hope that somehow he keeps doing that. And again, he's definitely hit for power in his career, but he's not. There's a reason teams haven't gone after him. He's led league in strikeouts like three, four times. I don't know. Yes, he'd definitely be one of the better bats in our lineup, but I don't know if it's worth what it'll cost when, I don't know. I still like Naylor. Obviously, he can't play third. Willie Castro could at least play short and third, but he's not a power bat. I'm not going to act like he's that big of an upgrade, but I don't know. There's questions, but it's going to be super competitive in that third base market anyways. And yeah, I probably won't be complaining if we get him, but I also don't think it'll be cheap with the way the market shapes up, but I don't know. I kind of derailed our conversation about the good vibes of this team.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's there's too many like I don't there's just we're too thin. Even if you like Durbin and Ortiz and Terang, it's too thin of the infield. It to me feels like a perfect storm. And I get what you're saying about how he hasn't been able to keep it up, but he's right now on a 58 homer pace and 138 RBI pace, like through 100 games. So I don't know. It feels like a guy
Well,
that
yeah,
we
if,
need
if
we
you
need to hit for
promised he
power.
did that again,
For sure. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but it feels like a different year for Suarez. He is still striking out a lot, but just slugging way, way more for even a guy who's been known for power. So
Okay, what if the Cubs overpay for Suarez and then we get Kiner Falefa and he takes over the Andrew Monasterio role? Would
I
you
would
be happy?
sure I'll take IKF in the Monasterio role, but I still don't really like IKF doesn't really do it for me. If it's him or nothing, I guess.
I just feel like that's what it's going to be shaping up to be. Like I don't think they're going to overpay for in their eyes overpay for someone that might be a one-hit wonder. Even if he does continue, I don't know.
Well, Tyler Black has looked like a serviceable major leaguer in his couple ABs since he's been up, but again, I don't think they'll try him at third base, and I don't think he's got any business really sticking around long term at first base with three guys they like more. Two are injured, of course, but um, yeah, I don't know. I hope they make a move on the left side of the infield, even if it's not Suarez. I don't know what they have to do, but I want to hear what everyone's hot hitter of the week was.
Oh, stop jumping on fire, Ricky Bobby! I'm on fire! He's so hot right now.
I'll go first. I think there's probably a guy who's been hitting pretty consistently that someone else might bring up, but I'm going with Isaac Collins, who I think has two hits today, last I checked. But even before today, he had a 409 on base and a 474 slug since the break, with a home run, three runs, four RBIs, and a steal. So um, every time I get to say Isaac Collins' name in a positive light, I'm happy because I think that's a guy that has surprised all of us this year and been more than anyone ever could have hoped. So I'll give it to Isaac Collins and leave some room for you guys to pitch in.
I guess I'll go with I'm going to name a bunch of guys, which is, I guess, a good thing if you think about it. There's not just one guy; it's kind of the team. But um, Isaac Collins was one of them. Durbin, I think I saw him and Isaac Collins are both in the top 10 for on base percentage in the second half. I think FanDuel put that up during the broadcast today. And then also you got to give it to Churio, who's just extended his 17-game hit streak today, as well as Yelich's 29 on base streak today. It's just incredible how those guys can do it, especially the hit streak. And another weird thing I saw is that Jackson Churio's hitting over 300 on the road this year, which would make me think that he's batting under 250 at home. So that's a little interesting tidbit there, but still 17 games in a row, that's both home and away. So I would like to see him hit for more power more consistently, but I feel like the power numbers are just down for most guys.
I don't have anything to add to your hot hitters, but I would love to know who your untouchable pitchers of the week are for sure.
You fellas are untouchable. Is that the thing? No one can get to you?
I'm giving it to Quinn Priester. He had the 10K outing, 6 innings, 3 hits. Keep it simple.
I was also going to go with Priester. He's nasty. He's been nasty today. He's going out for the 6th inning now. Only got 70 pitches, but you also got to give it to Woodruff. Um, dude's been gnarly and going probably more distance than any of us would have imagined in his first 3 starts. I mean, he's been great. The command has been
DL Hall's been nasty
phenomenal.
too.
Yeah, and DL.
Quinn Priester's spinning another nice one right now in the bottom of the 6th against the Mariners. So good stuff. All right, I'm gonna do standings, and I got to get out of here. I got some family coming from Rays country who sounds like they may be changing owners and possibly moving the team to Tampa, maybe instead of St. Pete. That'd be nice. I didn't see what ended up coming of that, but all right. So looking at the standings, I already did it briefly, but wanted to also touch on the fact that so the Brewers right now have a half game lead over the Cubs. The Cubs also have a 5 game lead on the top wild card spot that's over the bottom wild card spot. So even if the Brewers were to fall right behind the Cubs, still a sizable lead on the playoff spot that they still hold. So that's good to see as a safety net. But man, I would really like to see this team go get a bye. Just they haven't been able to win a playoff series, so win one by just moving on, getting into a series where it's 5 games, it's less fluky. Um, Not only that, if you get the bye, you get home field in the NLDS, obviously. So I just really hope they make a strong push and keep it rolling, add the pieces they need, and get that bye, get home field. How about NLDS game 1 and 2 in Milwaukee? That sounds pretty good to me. I like my chances with this rotation right now, and um, it feels like you could easily see the Brewers beating any team in the NL in a 5 game series with home field advantage. So. Who knows? Maybe we'll be talking about the Brewers in the NLCS this year. But that's my takeaway from the standings. We kind of quickly built that cushion on the wild card lead, even though um, we've just been paying attention to the division race. So
Yeah. Yeah, that like you kind of mentioned at the start, the season's kind of flipped in the last couple months from real dark to a nice bright future.
I
all right,
agree.
guys. Well, why don't you just take us home? All right.
All right. Thank God
Thank
he's
God he's
gone.
gone. Fuck that guy.
Wow. We jinxed that one. All right, Coach Keen. Um, I'm gonna quick. I saw the Gas Man is in rehab. I think past the rookie league. He might be at like single A or something now. I might be wrong, but either way, Robert Gasser's starting to pitch again, which is a guy I think everyone forgot about when they talked about us having too many starters. And he was really good when he pitched for us last year. Obviously, kind of the main piece in that Hater trade. Well, one of the main pieces, I guess. But hopefully he can contribute. Well, I don't know, or we can at least slow roll him and he'll be fresh for next year when we lose the guys that are expiring. But I don't know. Well, we just have so many arms. Curious if anyone wants them and who the Brewers trade them to. I think it's always an interesting discussion. Like if we have these veteran arms, do you trade them to another NL team? Because technically it's your competition, but at the same time, if we can get better in the future and they're not good enough to be on our team, it's probably still worth it. But I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, the way I see Gasser, I feel like he's just one of those guys right now where you just let him kind of ride it out in AAA. Obviously, he hasn't pitched like competitively in over a year almost, or almost a year, I should say. And so it's just kind of like, do we want to push it and bring him up, and or is this kind of you have an embarrassment of riches and you can just let him chillax in Nashville and then, like you said, have him just come up to start the year next year once you lose, the Quintanas. And obviously, I'm sure there's going to be an offseason trade or two that gets rid of guys or fills holes elsewhere. And then just on the depth itself, I hate when I say we as a Brewers fandom talk about trading, Quintana. Obviously, he's the one that makes the most sense, but then you are 1 or 2 injuries away from being like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have traded Quintana to, another NL contender. And then he's pitching against you at the end of September or, in the playoffs. And then it's like, well, why did we do that? If we thought we had an embarrassment of riches, I don't know. I think you
Yeah, I
trade the
think the
guys that
issue.
are
I
in
think the
AAA.
I think the issue is though, once we get Nestor back, we'll have too many starters.
I would
Unless
rather
you,
get rid of Nestor. I mean,
Yeah, that's fine. Those
That's
two are
brilliant.
interchangeable to me. It's just a matter of if you wouldn't want to option a guy like Priester the way he's pitching. Miz, it seems like they're a little worried about his innings, but it doesn't seem like they want to take him out of a starting role unless I don't know. I don't think it would make sense to move him to the pen, but if they're worried about innings, you could do that. But I think it's more just a roster crunch question because yeah, you'd want a Nestor or a Quintana in case of an injury, but you can't store them in AAA. You got to store them on the active roster, of course, with their service time. So um, I don't know. I do agree though. It's definitely a good problem to have, and not really a problem, but just I know we like to run a tight ship that maximizes our resources. So we'll see. I don't know how much of a market. I like. There's always a starting pitching market, but at the same time. I'm sure we're not just going to be giving them away, like you were saying. So I don't know if we'd really even move one, but it's fun to think about. If you're playing MLB The Show with this team, you're probably doing it, you know?
Yeah, I can't see a world where they get rid of Quintana, who's been a serviceable starter, a really good starter, and insert a freshly off the IL Nestor Cortez instead of Quintana. That's the part that I just have the most problem with. Like I get trading one because obviously it's a good problem to have and you can use it to like retool elsewhere. But I just you know what you're going to get with Quintana. Right now we don't know what we're going to get with Cortez. So if we're just swapping one for one, I'd rather get rid of Cortez any day.
Yeah, I think we were pretty high on Cortez, though. I don't know if it was true, but there were rumors last year. But obviously, we traded one of the best closers in the last 10 years for him. But I don't know. Yeah, obviously, Quintana's been solid this year. He plays to how we play well with enough pitch to contact and lets the defense work behind him. So I don't know. It just sucks that you can't like option those two guys. It'd be nice if you could bounce them around. Because worst case, like you said, if it comes to injuries in that situation, even if we get rid of those guys, we'd be able to call upon a Chad Patrick, a Logan Henderson, Tobias Myers, which would be nice. But um, I don't know. Yeah, I'd be curious. I think there's and like a we have a Carlos Rodriguez down there. We haven't seen in a while, and I don't know if he's even back from injury, but. Maybe he's a guy that moves too, because I think he's got enough stuff to be serviceable for a team in this league at some point, but he seems to be buried here. So yeah, again, good problems to have. Um, I know you haven't talked since the draft, and I don't know if you really have any opinions, but we did officially sign our first round pick today. He signed below slot, so we've saved on slot on all of our picks, which kind of makes sense when you look at the second half of the draft when it was like all prep guys that we're trying to persuade. Um, But I don't know if you have any opinions on that. I know you've been kind of paying a little closer attention to some of the prospects in the game over in the Northwoods League, but um, yeah, any draft talk or even if you want to talk a little nooks for a second. I know you've given us someone to watch before, but um,
Yeah, as far as the draft goes, I did get to watch the first round, which was pretty cool how they did it. I'm always like an MLB guy. The more we can create fans and stuff like that is cool. I think the way they did it was awesome. Um, the bats engraving was pretty cool. As far as the actual prospects go, that used to be my bread and butter, and I just don't have the time to do it anymore. I know we saw the guy from Tennessee. Obviously, he had nothing but good things to say, um, and his swing is violent, which is something that I'm glad to see. It kind of well, we'll see how it changes over the years before he reaches the majors, but it looks like there's a ton of pop there, and obviously, um, in the past, going after like the college guys early is our thing. So I always like that. I think as a casual fan, you would like that as well because there's a better chance you see those guys earlier than if you were to sign a high school guy in the first round. You won't hear about that guy forever. Kind of like they did with Terang. Took him, 4 or 5 years to get up. College guys might take even less. So that's always good. As far as the actual players we drafted go, I have no idea.
yeah, there's I think Fisher with like being in the SEC at Tennessee and I think he bounced around a good bit before that too and like at Duke and Ole Miss maybe but faced a lot of top end talent in college and had a from at least on paper a really good approach and I actually saw a couple of his games. He had that kind of viral moment against I think it was Wake Forest where their head coach was saying something mean to him. If you recall, I don't want to say what he said, but yeah, he's the bat profiles. It'll be interesting to see how he fits in, but It seems to be our new approach, and it's been working out. If you look at guys like Miz, who we've overpaid on their slot value a little bit later in the draft, I think he was still like a second or third rounder, but still, you had to overpay to keep him. Miz coming from JUCO instead of high school, but same difference. But yeah, I think in the next week or so, it'll come out with who we actually signed, so then we can care a little bit more. But like you said, might be more like 2, 3, 4 years till we really know how good of a draft it was. Um, Around the farm, I'll quick do that, and if you got anything else to add of guys, I know earlier in the year you were up in Appleton for a game, so you've done more in-person viewing of the. Actually, no, I went to a Sounds game. I'm lying. We're tied. Um,
If it hadn't been for those meddling kids. If it hadn't been for you meddling kids. Ah, meddling kids. If it hadn't been for these meddling laddies.
Jonathan Rennell, I believe his name is, in the DSL, made their All-Star game. He's almost one dotting down there with more walks than Ks. Obviously, that's been a really strong area for the crew, is kind of working through the Dominican and some of those other international areas. So that's good to see. Braylon Payne's been really hot. He has a 12 game on base streak, and he was the Carolina League Player of the Week, I think, going into the break. Travis Smith's last three outings, he's kind of worked around some traffic, so he's allowed some base runners, but 16 innings, one earned run, 17 Ks. And then Arenamo has a home run, I think, in the first two games out of the break. I don't know if he played another game since then. But either way, a couple bombs, and that's a, I believe, middle infield prospect. So more middle infielders that have a little pop in the bat would be nice, considering, and nothing against our current middle infield. And I don't think Bryce Strang's going anywhere soon, and hopefully Joey can pick it up. But it's always a little more fun when you got guys in the middle lineup that can put a little pop into the ball. Do you have anything for on the farm?
Uh, as far as I was as far as the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers go, I remember calling Mr. Burke, our old comp first round pick, Blake Burke, overweight, and that's why it was hurting his performance. But no, I think he was just a Southern boy who was off to a bad start in the cold in the Midwest. So ever since then, he's heating up. He's like second or third on the team in OPS. It's over 800 down there, which is good, and he's batting over 300. So he's really turned it around and made me eat crow. So that good for him and good for the Timber Rattlers. It looks like their whole team has pretty much turned it around offensively. Their shortstop, I'm not going to try and even say his name. And then also Marco Dingus. I might be saying that incorrect. He's on fire down there as well. He's got an OPS over 8.
Yeah, he was even hotter, I think, in Carolina too. Obviously, that's why he got the promotion. So yeah, we got some studs around the farm for sure.
I'm going to say Matthew Wood was the catcher when I went, and he was not very good.
He was good the year before, I think, and he might have started to play a little better. But either way, yeah. I was just gonna ask. I saw Rich Hill got back on the bump the other day at 45 years old, and I was gonna quick go over the fact that at Rich Hill being 45, when you have former Brewers who to me seem like they're old, like Giovanni Gallardo, 39, Brawny's only 41, JJ Hardy's only 43, Prince Fielder's only 41. I think that's so crazy that Rich Hill's still going out there. I know he's a starter, but like Giovanni, he's been out of the league for so long. And like you could name a million other guys from that, whatever, guys that retired 5, 10 years ago. And you got Rich Hill still going out there, kind of getting it. Nuts. It's crazy.
I'm just going to comment quickly on the rough day that J.P. Crawford has had at short. Oh my goodness, is he having a tough one today? But to your point, I agree. It's wild to see how young some guys are. I feel like over the past 5 years, everybody that's like become a superstar is like in their early 20s. Then you look at Jackson Churio, and it's like, here's the 25-year anniversary of the stadium you're playing in, and it's like, oh, you weren't even born yet. 25 is really young. But yeah, seeing Brawny like take swings, he looks the exact same as he
Yeah,
did.
those swings did look good. And
Like,
he's probably been juicing for years now out of the testing pool. You better watch out for this home run derby.
I was to say I don't believe him for 1 second when he's like, yeah, I haven't swung a bat in 4 years or
Yeah,
something. I
I
don't
don't
believe
believe
that for a
anything he
second.
says,
I know
luckily.
you hate him, but I love him. But I'm interested to see like Niger Morgan and stuff, and I was kind of hoping Ricky Weeks would be a part of that as well, since he's like already around.
Hmm.
Uh, but that whole idea of what's going to go on at the alumni home run derby is super cool. There's obviously going to be more guys there. George Kataris, Casey McGee, those guys are going to be around the stadium taking pictures and autographs and stuff. I did hear it's predicted to be a sellout, so
No, tickets were expensive because when I got mine a couple days ago, and I got them through like a deal, so I didn't have to. But like 400 level corners were like, yeah, 50, $60. We'll see.
we struck when the iron was cold. They had just announced it. We bought tickets the day after. We got outfield bleacher tickets for $40 a piece.
Nice.
So we got pretty lucky. We struck right away. We were all in the same establishment. We're like, we should just go. We struck. So that's kind of what you had to do. Otherwise, you're paying an arm and a leg to get where we're going to be.
I know you said you're excited to see Niger, but I'm not exactly sure Tony Plush is built for this home run derby. I
I
think
don't
there's
think he
some
is
other
either.
guys that
I
might
think
be.
he's built for the flair. I don't think a lot of. I mean, just think of like Giovanni and some of these other guys, Corey Hart. They're not built for like that
Yeah, Corey
entertainment
Hart. No, but
type
Yeah,
thing.
true, true, true. But Corey
Just like their
Hart's a
personalities.
hitter.
So
We'll see
Niger
it.
Morgan, I think, will like carry the entertainment value more than just like his swings
Do
will
we know
bring.
like the format? Is it like the old home run derby where they can like take a second to settle in? Because if
I don't know.
Gomez
All I
has to go
know,
with speed, he's in trouble. But if they let Gomez reset after his hacks, I'm
it
feeling all
doesn't
right.
even say on here. All I know is that there's
Do they have
the
StatCast to
captains.
break tiebreakers?
That's a great question. George Kataris will catch. I mean, Eric Thames. I haven't heard anybody talk about him. Keon
Oh, he
Broxton
looks
too.
really big too. Kean
Bill
Braxton's they got to be
Hall.
the youngest, right?
Bill Hall's got to be almost 50 years old.
Yeah, he's
The oldest, for sure. I
yeah,
mean,
probably.
this is going to be so much fun. I'm very excited. This will be a great day, and I hope the fans take it seriously. I just don't know how they got Mark Loretta there. I know he's probably a busy guy. Corey Knable couldn't pay him $4.5 million. I'm surprised he even wanted to come back, but it should be a good time.
Yeah, and I think there's like some discounted beer and brats pregame inside. I don't know if that's an hour or 2 hours before the game, but
As soon as gates open, brats are $2.50 as well as draft beers up until first pitch, and gates open at 1:10. So in game
so
time,
yeah,
so you
two
get
hours.
2 hours to get all the deals.
Hell yeah.
There's going to be
Um,
autograph sessions all throughout the park between 1:50 and 4:35 p.m.
are you signing?
Sadly, no, I don't think I'm signing. But I have signed, as the kids think that I'm a Chinooks player. So I have signed quite a few baseballs this year. And I have to politely tell them, no, I'm not a player.
I did. I saw there were some cool Chinooks promos coming up actually. There's like a hat giveaway on Saturday, and I think I wrote down a t-shirt on next Tuesday. There's some pretty cool promos they run.
Oh yeah, no, we have our Wisconsin beer bellies coming out this Saturday and this Sunday. So if you don't want to go to the Brewers game on Saturday, we have dollar beer night, as well as if you go to our Instagram or all of our socials, you can see all the beer bellies merch that's live. You can bid on one of the jerseys. It kind of looks like this. This was our Hawaiian version, but the other one says Wisconsin beer bellies on it. It's got a fat pig with a giant belly on it. So it's a really cool thing that we're doing this Saturday. So if anybody and any of our tens of listeners want to show out and drink some dollar beer, Miller Lite or Coors Lights on Saturday, and then Sunday is the hat giveaway. So pretty cool stuff we got coming up.
Sweet.
Shameless plug.
And I know you said you haven't been signing a lot of autographs, but I'm pretty sure you did have a home run the other day. Is that true?
Don't bread my butter now. I did go yard.
How'd that get? And you guys won?
Oh yeah, we won.
Oh yeah.
We won.
All right, good to hear. Anything else going into what
I
the
think
deadline's a week away?
you should join us and get a new pair of batting gloves from where? Where do you like to get them?
Well, for a while, I stopped wearing batting gloves and I was building calluses, pissing on the hands, sticking them in pickle juice kind of deal. But
What?
recently I got back, I got back on the Spiders batting glove train. I got some back here actually, but Even if it's just mowing the lawn, little yard work, whip them out. There's no shortage of uses for spiders batting gloves.
You say I like to wash the dishes, and I wear my Spiders batting gloves. They might be waterproof. I don't know. Maybe it's just my
I don't
water.
think they are. I don't
They
think
don't
they
get
are.
in there, and I'm nice and clean, and they dry and they don't stink. They're the best batting gloves I've ever had. Please buy them. What's the code?
Scoop 15, I believe, at checkout.
Yeah, you should use it. Buy everything
Yeah.
and use that code. Scoop
Yeah, our
15.
issue is we're not really in that softball market, and I think softball guys would eat up that product. I think your softball jacks are going 20 feet deeper with spiders batting gloves.
I need some new batting gloves, so I will be buying them from Spiders.
There you go.
And I will use the code what?
Scoop 15 at checkout for
At
15%
checkout.
off.
Scoop 15, 20% off
Yeah,
any
yeah.
item.
Well, we crossed that off the list of things we had to do. Oh, we didn't do a beer of the week. You got one,
Oh, I
Coach
can do it.
Keen?
I can do a beer of the week. Let me look it up real quick. So if I was going to go online to spiders.com, what code would I use?
I believe it's Scoop 15 at checkout.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, I got the beer of the week.
I'll have a brewski, Charlie. Well, there's nothing like a cold one after a long day, huh? Oh, yeah. I've been known to drink a beer or two.
Right here. So I've got Garden Variety Chaos. I had it last night. I bought a Three Sheeps variety pack. And it is a New England / a hazy. Three Sheeps makes like some
They do a lot
phenomenal-
of IPAs.
They make a lot of like phenomenal darker beers that I like during the fall and the winter. But I had to try out their like hoppier stuff. So Garden Variety Chaos. It's just a good beer. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.0 rating. It's got a 6.5 alcohol percentage. I'm trying to see if they have a bio for it. It doesn't look like they do, but on
I've been up to their tap room. They got I like their stuff, but yeah, they don't have as much of like the lighter fare. It's more of they get you either with the dark heavy stuff or with the IPAs.
I was gonna say the Garden Variety Chaos. This one they just came out with it. It's got an average rating of 4 out of 5, and they have this hop series variety pack where I didn't even know what the fourth beer was going to be, and it turned out to be this one. So it's kind of a mystery box. Three Sheeps. Use code Scoop15 at checkout on spiders.com.
Yes, sir. Do you know for the 250 beers, is it like any draft beer?
I would have to assume that it was just Miller Lite.
I think so too, but last time they did the dollar beers, I'm pretty sure it was any draft beer. Maybe not though. Maybe
I
not.
have the link or the thing they sent out yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think it specifies, right?
It just says draft beers for $2.50 until first pitch. Brats for $2.50 until.
Well, I was hoping the Blue Bobbers would be part of that, or I think that's what it's called. I wasn't as familiar, but it's one of the beers in like the Wisconsin draft section. Put little blueberries in there. It's a delightful fruity ale lager of sort. Um, Hopefully that's included. I kind of just like doing it because you get the little pat on the back with the blueberries on top. Makes you feel good about yourself. Gives you something
I
to,
didn't even know they did that.
yeah, the actual blueberries in there.
One thing I forgot
Cooper
to
Vance
mention
put
about,
me on that.
One thing I forgot to mention about the alumni game is that there's a 25% discount on select items in the team store. So
Do we know what those are, or is that just
select items? I'm going to go with scorecards that cost 99 cents, pencils that are now 75 cents.
2013 playoff shirts?
I would honestly buy one of those. If they had them out, a 2014 like division winner shirt that they never got to sell, I would buy one.
How much? Because I have
Well,
one.
I was gonna say, I don't know how much I would spend, but if it was like $15, you can count me in for sure.
Yeah, I might have a buyer. Or I might be the seller for my buyer here. Well, Coach Kean, I don't know. Anything else going in the deadline though? I know you kind of gave some thoughts.
No, I haven't had an opportunity to really take a deep dive, but I did see Jet Patson came out with that article today. I don't know is it a free one? I'm going to take a look, see if it's free, and I'll read it.
I did read it. He basically said we never really do big moves, and Miguel Garcia.
Was it what you sent in the group chat today? I did read that about Miguel Garcia. Was that his article?
So yeah.
Yeah, I read that. Okay. Well, other than that, I got to see like who's even available. You only hear like a few select names, but in reality, there's probably like 30 guys that'll be up for.
Yeah, lots of starters. a handful of relievers, which I don't think will pay up for one. If there's a guy like last year, we took a Mears, a guy we liked and probably didn't have to pay a ton for that I think has been more valuable than we gave up. Maybe something like that we'd do, but
Do you
not
think
a giant need
Chandler
there.
Morris is on the market for Reese Olson?
I don't think so. Not currently.
Damn it.
Uh,
That was a good
he,
trade.
I don't know. He's got to be. He's not been in the league for years now,
No,
right?
I think our last season or his last season was the season after we took him on.
Yeah, I was gonna say he couldn't have stuck around much longer.
No. I think he was a
Yeah,
Cub.
that's the fear for the deadline, right? Is you acquire shit and you're like, oh, it's gonna make a difference, and it doesn't, and then you give up somebody. That's like if Suarez doesn't continue to do what he's done, which he could, but I don't necessarily know if I think he will. But if we actually have to give up stuff for him, watching a guy be productive in the league for at least those first 6 controllable years is gonna kill us being the Brewers. But we do eventually have to go for it. I just wish it wasn't with Suarez because he's such a one-dimensional player. He's got a power tool. That's it. He's not a
Remember when
base runner, a
we thought
fielder.
we were getting Manny Machado?
Yeah, that was crazy. I had to get over
There's
not liking Manny Machado.
I was gonna say there's not one guy like that
No.
I mentioned earlier that like will come in and produce. Like Eugenio Suarez has his
Well,
like
you never know. Yeah, I mean, they're probably calling and asking on everyone. And if you're gonna take a swing for a guy that's not even currently up on the market, I mean, we have
well, we never
prospects,
thought
dude under
Nick
the radar.
Mears. Nobody thought Nick Mears. I mean, and he
You're
wasn't
right.
even that good last year with
Yeah.
us. He's just blossomed this year, and he was good in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, he got hurt, I think, a little bit after we got him too. But yeah.
He did.
Yeah, we'll see. All I'm gonna say is I still wish Zach Greinke was the guy who came back instead of Dick Mountain because he's got to reach that 3,000K mark. But
Maybe one day.
yeah, maybe. Who knows?
We'll see.
Well, all right. Well, I got nothing else, Coach Kean. Nothing else.
I'm good. If you haven't bought your tickets for Friday, you should because it's going to be a great day, and it's honestly one of like once in a lifetime opportunity that a lot of teams don't do this stuff for. And the players actually came back to Milwaukee. Can you imagine all those guys coming back to a city that they probably have no attachment to other than the Brewers? So it's kind of cool that they even gave us the time of day. You should go out, thank them, have a good time, get really fucking drunk.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, go Nooks.
Go Nooks. Nook Nation IPA.